Welcome back to Naturally Spiritual, where we correlate the spiritual with the natural. I'm Cheryl,
And I'm Sherry.
and we're coming to you this Saturday talking about everything in its proper place at the proper time with the proper tools, right?
Right. You have to have the proper tools. We've heard it before. You're putting the cart before the horse.
Right.
And if you put the cart before the horse, there are several things that's going on with that. The horse is back here like, I can't see. I'm supposed to be doing something, but I can't move this. So you got a pretty yard ornament, and that's about it.
Right.
Or if it's in the streets, just think about it. You've stalled. So all of this traffic
Look,
behind
traffic jam.
traffic jam. So everything is stalled. So unless you put it in its proper place at the proper time and in the proper order, you just have a big mess that you've just created.
Right.
We probably all can think about things that sometime or another that we had all of the proper tools.
Right.
But we thought we had all of the proper
It's
tools,
so true.
and things didn't turn out how in theory we thought they should have.
Right. We always go back to baking or cooking. You got to have all the proper tools to cook something, right?
Right.
And even as far as building a house, and if you don't have all the tools to build a house, look, first of all, you have to have a roof. If you don't have a roof, then you don't have a house,
but
right?
You can't start with the roof. You have to have the foundation.
Well,
you
so
have to
true.
have a foundation, and you have to have the outside walls and all of that.
But it's not complete unless it has a roof. That's my point,
well,
right?
That's so true, right? And then if we're talking about the horse in the cart, just think about it, even in your car, there are things that you have to have in place in order to get that car running,
Look,
right?
you know what? With that being said, when we were in our 20s, I had this car. Now the car was a perfectly good running car, but evidently that day something didn't go right. So anyway, the car broke down, and when it broke down, my brother took me back later on that night, and I said, "What if we get back to my car and somebody's in my car?" Now I guess I was a little prophetic back then, right? So we got back to the car, and the car was full of junkies, right? And I'm like, what are you guys doing in my car? It's my car. I'm crying, and my brother's like, really? Why you crying? But but I was crying like, get out of my car. And they were like, no, well, I was like, well, how you going to go? Because I have the keys. So see, they didn't have the proper tools, right?
Right, because I don't think you ever told me how you convinced them to get out.
I said I was going to call the police.
Oh, going to jail over somebody else's
a broken down car. But anyway, so they couldn't have moved it had they tried, because I had the keys, right? And it didn't work. So look, the other proper tools it didn't work, because if it had worked, I would have been in it. They would have been in it to begin with, right?
Right.
So good example of not working properly, right?
Right. So you have to think about, there's a reason to have things in place at the right time and everything, because even in 1 Corinthians 14, it says, let all things be done decently and in order.
Right.
So there's a process.
Right.
You could have acquired all of the tools that you need.
Right.
Think about it. You can have everything that you need, but unless you do something with it,
right?
You just have accumulated a lot of things that one day, someday, maybe when I get to it, and those types of things. Because think about a business.
Right. And you know what? With a business, sister, so many people, they've thought about it. Look, and for whatever reason, they thought about it years ago. They haven't started it.
Right.
They pushed it to the side, whether it was money, or they wanted to take care of family first, or they just didn't have the time. But now, is that time, right?
No
it's me time. There's no better time than now. If you have all the necessary tools, go ahead and get started. Because look at us. And we speak on it often, this book thing, now is our time, but we had to put in the process for that, right? And even and for years, we've done the text ministry, and so it started out as a seed. That was our seed, and someone started watering it and kept encouraging us, put it in a book.
Are you guys getting this out of a book? Yes, we're gonna take care of that.
Right. And like we said, and our dad was our biggest motivator. So put it in a book. So, but we're saying that to say, no matter how it came to you, just make it blossom,
Yeah.
right? If it was just a thought
Mhm.
or something that your heart really desires, because most businesses start out
Out of a hobby.
out of a hobby,
Yeah.
right? So no matter what it is, go ahead and get that thing started,
Right, get it started. I mean, if you have all of the tools, be it a business or a relationship,
Right.
if you have everything in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
every tool in front of you, you have to apply those
Right.
things,
Right.
apply them, get started, and take off with it,
Mhm.
whatever it is,
Whatever, right?
So we're not going to hold you on this Saturday, but we know you have the tools to put in place, and go ahead and like us,
share
yeah,
us,
talk to us,
and hit that subscribe button, right?
right. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your weekend.